And caveman, we are
Yay!
alive.
We are live.
Welcome to
So
the
welcome.
202,
Yep.
202nd episode of DevKami.
Yep. Two more time. Do it two more time. Then we'll get 404. Then we will not exist for one day, one episode.
But if you think, do you exist? But if you don't think, you don't exist.
Yeah. So yeah. So I have another DevKami tab on the channel. So I actually got confused a bit. So it's Christmas month. It's also one more. It's also technically Chinese New Year month, because
Really?
Chinese New Year is also, well, not really. Technically, it's like 1 month, 1.5 month to go before CNY, which is why Prosperity Burger is out as well. So that's happening. So interestingly, market-wise in Malaysia, what happened is, oh yeah, by the way, I'm swimming.
Yeah,
Let me see
Tristan.
this. Yes. So market-wise in Malaysia, the spending for Chinese New Year is very big, and for some reason, it's overshadowing Christmas for a reason that I don't understand. Because I would thought that people will give stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know.
What is overshadowing Christmas?
Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year,
I think it's
right?
the New Year that's the New Years are always like new things.
Well, not
Like
really, because
it
it's when the
seems to be the in thing. I don't know.
because even when the New Year, Chinese New Year is in February, all the way in February, the spending is just more. It just happens to be more
Mhm.
either way. So which is why quickly after Christmas, 31st or so, then it's very quick. They very quickly switch to Chinese New Year mode. So which I've always find very interesting. But let's go more on that later, because we have interesting thing happening. But first, I need to find the meetup tab. Okay, first one. We have Open Source Summit Japan. I believe it's possible for us to see it online. Can we? Oh no, you need to register. I do not know how this works, to be honest. So this happening. Then of course Ruby Tuesday. Also this time also in Mind Valley,
Mhm.
all the way in Bangsa. This is easier to go, slightly speaking, in a way that it just beside the arcade. I
Slightly
mean,
just right outside of the LRT station.
correct, correct. Which is interesting, there's now a KFC down below instead of Old Town. Interestingly as well. So yeah,
Oh, there's no more
and
Old Town, by the way.
yeah, there's only KFC. I know. I
Yeah,
was there.
It's already KFC now. I
Then
wonder
after that,
why Old Town left. It's like
I don't know. Yeah, I mean KFC is everywhere. Oh well, but we mostly go to the mama anyway, and that's the truth. The mama is better. Then of course we have nothing happening until 17. Interestingly, it's Christmas month, right?
mhm.
So yeah, that's about it. So and talk about news. So of course, just so you know, it's slow news day, slow news week for us. So I have to really extract out. I have to really try my best to extract out the news from multiple links. Before I talk about these two things is interesting. No, everyone code is common. The other one is more interesting. So the first one, so you know,
Fraud.
on Android, and more importantly on iOS desktop, and all that, they actually have the tag extraction and all that. So the technology exists. Now these are actually the open source version of it. Not the same it's the same technology class, but it's different software. So just so you know. So this is actually it will just it's something that originally built for elementary OS, but it's knowing that it's on Linux, you can run on anything that you can run on lah. So this is the video demo, and I just copy the text there. I did not
I
install it
I
yet.
guess
Uh-huh.
it's automating what tools are already there. Like OCR
Correct,
isn't
correct,
new, screenshotting is not
correct,
new, but this just
correct,
combines the two.
Yeah.
correct.
I
So
think
the
some of the I think Android has it. I think Mac OS has it.
yes,
Mhm.
Okay.
definitely have that. They're kind of proud of that, even though I don't know. it's there. It's there. It's useful. Use it whenever
I
available.
just yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
just
So have fun
pick
along
your
the way.
poison.
Yes. So yep. I'm gonna move on. This is more interesting because not necessarily practical, but it's very interesting. This guy actually created their own CPU on the FPGA, of course.
Mm.
Then from this CPU, he actually ported a small Unix operating system called XV6. It's a Unix operating system. I'm going to open a new tab. So interesting in a way because one, this is a RISC ISA on FPGA, and they built their own C2 chain, porting a Unix like OS to the CPU and all that. So it's interesting just because of that alone, because it's pretty impressive, technically speaking. So yeah, you can't build your own CPU like fabricating and all that. FPGA is pretty much as close as you can, as Sean have said multiple times. So they developed this, then they run XV6. Then first, they need to create your own CPU C2 chain because it is your own CPU. So you need to bootstrap it a bit at least. Usually, what that means is you you bootstrap on top of C compiler and just build on top of that, build a cross compiling tool chain on it. Yeah, and interesting also article is this: they are saying that what do you need for CPU to actually run a full operating system? Set compiler, OS things up, CPU. So this is all progress and all that lah. Very cool stuff. Just something that I like. Anything to add? If not, I'm going to move on.
No.
Oh yeah, then I'm going to show you what is XV6. XV6 is actually it is actually a 6th version of Unix, meaning this is actually a very old Unix operating system. Old means
So they
old
ported the
means
operating system
simplified.
over to their own CPU.
Correct. And because this is a very old version of Unix, so it's simpler. So which is a good thing, right? Because Unix at that time are adopted because it's a simpler system. So yeah. Then this one, Trust Code System is a root certificate authority. Is also now not trusted by Mozilla. Major browser already stopped supporting this.
Yeah,
Actually,
I think you
because
need
of
to. Yeah. Chico?
because that CA is said to be related to the intelligence, something like that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think
So
you need to explain why the root authority and having someone with ties to the military is a problem if you're a root authority. Like what does it
okay.
mean?
So what really happened is in the United States, a company with military tie do not just build weapons. It can also provide other services,
Yes,
providing intelligence analysis tools. Those
and
are
private
products that can be used.
and private armies.
Yeah,
Yes.
and what's the problem with root certificates?
Those things, once they have it, then you can decrypt the traffic and actually read the content that pass through. So,
No, because
uh,
I think it's better you click on that lock icon right on your page right now.
yeah, correct,
So
correct.
which is the SSL. You see that yeah the you just click on the yeah that one connection is secure, and you'll see the certificate is valid, and then you open it. It
Oh,
says that
okay.
this is issued, and you'll see this is the issuer, and then you have what's called what they call this chain of trust, right?
Yes, correct.
So this was issued by certificate authority, which in turn gets its authority from another certificate authority, and then it turtles all the way
Yes,
down. But
correct,
of course, you need your progenitor turtle, which is
correct.
the root
Which is the
authority.
CA.
Yeah, the certificate,
Yes.
the root ones. I think they have like a few of them. Browsers So the list changes all the time because the certificates
Yeah.
will expire every few years, and so that's why
Correct.
it's important you upgrade your browsers because otherwise, like like I think was it Norton? I forgot which company that uh, just got their keys like exposed, and so
Yeah.
browsers
Norton had
immediately
happened at one time.
yeah. And so they all browsers, all major browsers at least, immediately
Yeah.
like updated their certificate uh,
Correct.
lists so that it doesn't trust that. And also there's also a problem for IoT devices because you have no way to
Update
update
those things.
those after a few years, and then
Yeah.
after a few years, their SSL certificates won't connect anymore because the root certificate authorities are like
Correct.
Yep.
not there anymore, right?
And it
It's
Correct.
happens very common with certain like languages that bundle with the system,
yeah,
like Java and .NET.
correct.
If you
Correct.
get to support them, then you realize that.
Well, usually those languages they defer to the operating system certificate lists, right?
Correct.
Certificate
Correct.
authorities, right? When you update your operating system, then you will update your lists as well. But this is a problem because it is the root, it's the progenitor,
Yeah.
it's the primordial one. It's where
Yeah.
all authority emanates from, and you have a few of them. If that's
Yeah.
tied to the military or the intelligence of a superpower like the U.S., then
Yeah.
you you can just imagine, right? Like you can create like some malicious certificate, and
Correct.
that allows another department to intercept traffic, which is
Correct.
you would have expected everything because you have the lock icon. It's everything is
Yeah.
SSL, but you wouldn't
Yes.
know that it's actually being intercepted, so you wouldn't know.
Correct. Correct. So yeah, lah, as a result, TrustCore is now not trusted by all browser. The latest one being Mozilla. So there's no command and they just withdraw, and that's about it, lah.
Hmm.
Yep. And also it's pretty big because apparently a lot of the code, a lot of the app, is apparently it's also related to the app actually. Oh well. Oh, because the same company do this kind of thing. Oh well. And I'm gonna move on.
No,
Let's go
so this
to
is this is actually quite interesting if you compare it with what US is doing now with Huawei, right?
yeah,
They're
correct,
saying, "Oh, we're not going to get China made, Huawei made equipment because we
correct,
don't think
correct,
they're spying on us." Well,
correct,
the US actually has a lot of capability to spy on other
correct,
countries, and they're not
correct.
saying anything about it.
Yes, because they do control a lot of the software and all that. So it's going to make things hard. So the only good thing here is in the US there is private entity have the power to put things away.
I think the
But
difference is there's a check and balances
Mhm.
correct,
in terms of the non-governmental ones.
correct,
So as long as you don't get caught, right?
Yeah.
yeah, correct. So yeah lah, that's the problem lah.
Unfortunately, TrustCore got caught, so
Yeah,
that's that's down, and you'll have to rely on
yes,
other ones that aren't caught yet.
correct. So I'm going to do this one before the other one. So this one is okay. So uh, LastPass actually released a statement on how the attack happened and
When
how
was
it
the
spread.
breach back then? I forgot.
It's all the way in August apparently.
Okay, it's
So one of the
pretty old.
big thing here is what the big thing that promise is the customer password have not been compromised and remain safely encrypted. So that's what they promise right now. What happened is one of the data storage service being compromised and they managed to access customers' data. So what data is not they didn't really say yet. They're still identifying it according to them, but yeah, it happens twice. It hits some data, but they promise that the password is still safe, and this happens all the way in August, and so they released it now, lah. So anything to add on this?
No, do you
No,
still
yeah.
use LastPass? Does anyone
I'm
here
still
use
on
LastPass?
it.
Not
I'm
really.
still on it. I'm still on it, to be honest. But I was planning to use use what use what is the new nice one nowadays? Damn it.
Bitwarden,
Huh?
Bitwarden.
Often.
Yeah, I was thinking Bitwarden as well. Bitwarden is open source and also had hosted service. There's option for both.
Hosted serve, you can
So
host your own and or use
correct.
theirs.
Correct. So the option is there. So it's actually on my list, and there's also another one. There is proprietary that I forget the name. Which actually last year actually have a Linux client. So maybe that as well. I don't have a good answer which to use lah. Just
Yeah,
options for me
I
right now.
use Bitwarden, so it's on particularly on the browser, so it's for at least
Yeah,
for the
I like
Firefox.
Bitwarden as well. I use Bitwarden for everything. I used to use LastPass, and then after the first breach,
Yeah,
not anymore.
I used to use KeyPass, then I forgot the master key.
Yes. So okay, I'm going to go to this one. This one is actually a JavaScript implementation for a compiler, and so yeah, actually, here's the thing about writing compiler. It's not magic. It's about lexical analysis, meaning you design your syntaxes,
You
then you
yeah,
design the trees, actually the lexical trees. Then you build a parse tree. Then what happened then is each of these when your code meets a certain code structure, do something, and those something are just another function to be called. So in the end of the day, is one code to call another code and call another code.
Also known as Computer Science 101.
Precisely.
Is it 101?
So,
I don't know. I think 101 is
no,
the basic.
it's not 101. Compiler design is actually advanced courses which actually are not taught to me. I learned it through natural language processing because the origin of syntax tree is from attempt to understand human language in
I
a
learned it
structured
from
form.
Lips.
Yes. So what happened then is at that time, at that moment, there's a thought that, okay, if human language can be represented as a parse tree, maybe we can build natural language on a parse tree on a system. And at that time, at that moment, Leaves is the AI language. So you can see it there.
Yeah, a very different one though.
Correct. But writing a compiler is not mysterious at all, actually, to be honest. It's real. Okay, it only sounds mysterious, but it's really about building your source tree and calling function in. So that's mostly what it is about. If you use Leaves, then it's a bit of a cheat because Leaves as a language is actually very easy to write. With a big caveat, I never write it before, but I know I can write it.
I forgot. I need to take the book back from Michael. Not really Leaves, but Scheme book.
Yeah. So this is actually an implementation in JavaScript. So if anything, at least you can test it in a browser. Traditionally, I wonder if I can find my book. Traditionally, compiler are actually built with Bison or Lex, right? And then so you use that to build your source tree, then integrate it with your programming language. Then nowadays you got better tools and all that. For example, Yak and all that. So let me find LLVM. LLVM actually have. Let me build language. LLVM create language. Yeah, here you are. So LLVM is the thing at the end, but you still have to get Alexa and all that. So I'm trying to find the newer tools for this. So those days you used to use like Bison and Lex to build your Lexes, but nowadays you can write code for it. The library is there. So yeah, writing programming language is only sound mysterious, but it's not really, to be honest. Anything to add on this? If not, I'm going to move on.
Not really.
No, okay. This is a good tutorial. It shows things work. I don't like the language, but at least it will work on the browser. So yeah.
And
So
I
this,
remember one year in I'm not doing AOC this year, but
yeah. Oh,
I
okay.
remember I remember one year I actually built Alexa.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always goes to the the bytecode one.
Mm.
Correct. Correct. So yes. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So this one now to another language design. So this is actually explaining how regular expression works. In short, it's a state machine. Actually, a form of state machine. Uh, so they have actually multiple state, and each state will actually treat operation. It's not too different from writing a programming language. It's just that each of the only difference is for the regular expression is one character will lead to one operation. That's where the state that's where it's very closer to a state machine than a pass tree. It's the same class of thing really, but but regular expression is closer to a state machine than a programming language lah, because it's actually operate one character
And
at a
it's not
time.
scary at all for a
No,
lot
it's
of
not.
time when it's mentioned to the juniors, like they go, "Oh no, it's something
Yes.
arcane."
No. If I chances if somebody want to implement part of this on Advent of Code, you were able to implement it, and then you realize that yeah, it works. It's like at that time, 2 years back, when in Advent of Code they actually do the order of operation algorithm. It's the same algorithm that's actually being used for mathematical operation in writing our compilers. So uh, so you can implement it. Everything of it is reasonably simple. You just have to understand it. But this one is cool because this actually tells you generally how regular expression work. There's no implementation per se, just how it works in general. In short, it's a state machine.
Yeah, and don't go to those the really arcane one, like forward and backwards
Correct.
lookup, those things
Correct.
that become scary.
So, yep. Then I'm going to move on. This one, CPM, aka DOS, is a simple operating system in theory. In practice, I still do not know how to implement it yet. So they actually implement it for on
I've
the
never used
20.
it.
Yeah, CPM is not DOS, but DOS comes from CPM. Okay, so this is actually implemented on the Pi Pico. So this is actually running on the Tiny 2040, which are based on IP 2040. And it's actually possible in a way that because your modern computers don't have math operation until Pentium. Okay, actually until
Well,
i386.
they
So
they had a coprocessor, so you had to buy a separate
correct.
coprocessor that does floating point.
So as a result, early on, it's those computer it's simpler and can be similar to and your
Well,
modern
I
microcontroller
remember
is as
even like
powerful.
some of the like back then when physics was its own physical card as well, right? And graphic cards.
Correct. That is correct. So as a result, it's actually possible to implement CPM on the microcontroller, so-called microcontrollers, because microcontroller is so powerful nowadays. So yeah, we can implement a small DOS machine for it, lah. Apparently, they want to do Turbo Pascal for it, which I do not know how, but why not? At this rate, with computers so small, so powerful, why not? I don't see a problem, right?
Mm.
So interesting project. I want to see a source code because I always curious how people implement
Sorry.
CPM. I mean CPM the source code is available, but CPM the source code is actually available. Uh, I think it's actually available, but it's in assembly. It's hard to read lah. It's actually a bit hard to read. lah.
No, it's not hard to read.
I cannot brain it. I cannot brain it well.
I mean,
Okay.
you don't read the instructions, you read the comments.
Right. Right. Which is I write Python. I'm a Python programmer. Our code is like command. Okay, I shut up.
No. I thought you were going to say it's better to just comment out all the code.
Yeah.
It's good. It's just better to not write any code.
Yeah, just comment
Yeah.
all the code, and then
Yes.
now you have a better code base than before.
You can still achieve a line per day.
Yeah. Let's not go there. I have a lot of comment on that recently.
Okay, let's not go there.
Yeah. So okay. Just so you know, this exists. Interesting project. I'm going to move on. This one just another book. This is actually implementing another operating system. I have multiple of this book, but I never actually finished any of them. So yeah. Just to know things, you probably won't write another operating system anyway, to be honest.
No, it's just know.
why
Just to
not?
know where things
Yeah.
are. What is
Correct,
going
correct.
on. It's them.
This is to understand how
never
things
harmful
work,
to
and
learn.
that's the point.
Yeah.
But you know,
The point is to learn
operating
things.
systems are not just for like what do you call this? It's not just for Intel compatible processors. You know, you can write
Correct,
operating
correct.
systems for like what is that? The FPGAs. Your own machine on an
Yeah, correct.
FPGA or an ARM
Correct.
device.
Yes.
You might
In
design
fact,
your
actually,
own.
most of anything complex enough do have some form of operating system on it. A fax machine have an operating system on it. There's an operating system that's designed for fax machine that is one of the most widely used operating system in the world, because those things. Then your Mars rover have an operating system, and it's not Linux. It's actually
Your
QNX.
your fridge has an operating system. Your car has an operating system.
Correct. It just don't have a UI in a screen
You
form.
don't have a monitor. You don't have a terminal.
Correct.
But you have a UI, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the
yes.
UI
It's
is
either a button or a terminal. It's a
Yeah.
button or a terminal somewhere.
Which is why you'll hear a lot of like RTOS, right? Like real time operating
correct.
system, because you
Correct.
don't want to wait for like everything else to finish before the button that you pressed actually does any
Correct.
any
Correct.
effect. So
Correct.
it has to be in real time as much as
So
possible.
yes. So these are different class of OS. RTOS is another class of OS altogether. RTOS actually have a very interesting capability. They can do long sleep and then wake up very short and do another long sleep. You can't do that on your Linux system, right? I do not know whether Mac can do it, but that's not the point. Yet another programming language project. This one is a bit old. I had to dig it up. So this is actually an implementation of Lua in assembly, I believe. So Lua is a small language. It's an embedded language, and the reason is
the specification is simple enough to be implemented as an embedded.
Correct. Then as a result, because it's small, it's fast enough to be used for embedded, and it's commonly used in games. We love to say it multiple times. Game.
It is easy to, interact, to have something that interact with the game system.
Correct. And if sometime in mod game, you're modding on Lua as well as the content, as the media and whatnot. So yeah. So this is another language implementation, just for cool thing, just for self learning. I'm gonna move on because I have more interesting stuff. This is not a programming language thing, but this is a no code open source game making app. So what does it mean? It means that you don't need you need to provide the artwork, but you can use drag and drop, I believe, to actually implement your own game in 2D. This one you actually can target Android and whatnot. It target multiple OS, but it also have pricing. So by default, all this pricing is for all the extra stuff like cloud build, cloud project, leaderboard systems, because those kind of things need servers. You're paying for servers, you're paying for ad mod service and whatnot. So the engine
And,
is
and multiplayer
the engine
games
is
require
free.
netcode, which is not so straightforward to implement. If you do it
Correct.
like normal web programming, it's gonna be miserable.
Correct. So the engine are free and open source. What GDI.io provide is all the online services necessary for all the multiplayer thing and convenience, because you may not want to set up your own build system for you, for example. So yeah. So I'm going to try it one day. I just do not know what game to work. My biggest problem writing game is I don't know how to do asset. That's my thing really. And from
Just
what I
You
understand,
can.
just go on Humble Bundle sometimes and get
yeah,
one of them.
yeah, okay.
If you
Then
really want to
also,
support.
yes, finally, anything to add? Is this on Go Engine? I heard this in Go
I
Engine.
have no idea.
I don't know as well. That's why I heard. I could be wrong. So platformers and all that. Yeah, you do pretty standard stuff. So I'm gonna move on. Happy birthday, Jim. For a long time it's actually ugly, but now it's actually very capable. It's still very capable. It just in the early
Yeah.
day it's not easy to use, right? So
I don't know. I find it okay. Uh,
yeah,
in fact,
that's what people say. Like,
in fact, for me, I think the UI never really got updated. It's just the same over
okay,
the
yeah,
year.
yes, it never got updated because for a while it's on GTK 2, which is actually damn ancient. Whereas there's a new GTK version for a while. Was it GTK 2?
Yeah.
So
I have no
which
idea. I
on
didn't follow it.
Windows
It's just that the style
on
is
Windows is damn ugly, right? It's actually damn ugly. So now it's actually one of the key tools to doing media as well. One of the big tool as well as okay, it's probably won't be as big as Adobe, just so you know, but it's one of those there. It's just one of those as
it's going
options.
there because Adobe these days go cloud and
Yeah,
it's not really accessible for especially students.
correct.
Yeah,
So
might have a student plan, but you still have to pay for it, and it's a platform lock-in.
correct. So yeah, it's available and you can do. It's very capable and people. There's a lot of resource nowadays. So yep, happy birthday, Jim. Thanks for everything. I'm gonna move on and
It is
find.
pronounced like Jim or Gimp?
I do not know. I do not know.
Bring up the Gimp.
Yes.
Sorry,
Okay, I'm going to do last thing. Have you tried? Have you tried a thing called Try Hack Me?
I have
No.
no idea.
So I've been doing. I recently do this because the reason I'm interested in this is because. I think I know what happened. Don't put me here. Why the hell put me here?
You know,
Because I'm
somebody
already.
also
Uh-huh.
I didn't tell you guys is that my credit card just got carded 2 days ago something. Somebody
Okay, how?
because the CVV was so stupid, it was it's cancelled. So I can share it. It's at 001.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the reason why I discovered this, Sam, I believe, actually, was it Sam or someone else? Uh, they have their own version of Advent of Code. It's called Advent of Cyber. I don't know why they call that. The first comment is first day is very stupid. It's actually understanding all the security. No, it's very good. You need to know that this thing exists.
Yeah, but you call it
Right?
stupid.
I call it stupid in a way that because I was expecting to actually spot a virtual machine, play
No,
around with a vulnerable
just the normal one first.
machine.
Just start with the web. Play around with the payload. Those should
Yeah,
be the ones that
correct.
get started.
But you see, the first day is they actually show me all this, which is very useful to know, very useful to explain to your boss why things are done. And you also, I mean, it's a basic information thing. So they actually tell you, no, this is actually a very good thing as an introduction. Just that the answer is a bit silly, right? The way they do things is a bit silly, They probably have some good thing. So, for example, Is this on me profile? Yes, it's me.
Yes. Give me your. I'm gonna put my public key to your Linux authorized keys.
Screw you, man. Screw you. Actually, I don't like the UX because some of the
And
thing that
and set your home router to set your computer IP as a DMZ.
DMZs are
okay,
good. DMZs are peaceful.
Yeah.
That's why
okay,
it's a
I'm gonna move on.
Then we have everything. Thank you very
So
much.
the thing is, I pressed the wrong button. Now I kind of lost where I'm going. But they actually have all these little things which I already know. I'm a sysadmin, so the kind of no. Originally, they point me to the right
Stop that.
place. They point me to the right place, but they give all the fundamentals. They have the right thing that
Not
teach you about lah. Yeah, it's not
It's good
bad.
enough for most beginners. Actually, it's more than good. It's even called pre-security, and I think the pre-security one is pretty good. If you don't understand
Yes,
the system, it's hard for you to do security because you cannot associate with what you're gonna do.
correct. Oh, so no, actually, I want to find the course that I'm actually going through. They lost it already. Damn it! Because so one of the things is that they will ask you a question on what level you are. So I know that I already know level, so I put an intermediate. So there is one part that I can go, but because I click on this now, they force me to go through all these things. I have this thing. Where the hell is this? Goes our learning part. Here you are. Learning part. Introduction. Junior. No, SOC level 1. This is the one. This is the one I'm actually in. Actually. So the first few level is all the methodology. Is only, which is a good thing. You need to know the point of what you're doing. It start from zero lah. It's only starting on the second thing where they begin to talk about tools, and they talk about Snort, right? How to use Snort. And what I like about this as well is if they give you a virtual Linux virtual machine, which you can use for free if you use certain OS. If you subscribe, you get a bit more. So you have two ways to access that machine, through a browser or through VPN. So when you VPN, then I believe you just use your what's the
I think
RDP client to access it, lor.
I think you
So
can share me your you can share me your VPN.
no, they provide the VPN.
I'm trying. I've been trying to social engineer Swimming very obviously.
So this one, they actually will actually set up a VPN for you, so you can set up the machine, because some of the things that actually try to get you to use may not be free. So for example, they actually have, where the hell it is, DigiForensic. They actually have, in between there is actually some proprietary tools like Burp Suite, for example. So they do actually have those, and it's better, which is why they provide you with the machine, which I really respect, and they actually do. And of course, there's a subscription plan. The subscription plan is like £10 a month. So not too bad actually. But I'm just doing the boring thing right now. Currently boring thing. So yeah lah. So this is actually what's happening. So I will do something similar, or do you have a favorite one for security training and all that?
No.
Okay. So yeah, this is something I discovered today lah. Actually, the last few days lah.
Just
the last
don't
few days.
click links from people you don't know.
Yeah. Actually, they do teach you that. In fact,
no, unless it's from me.
So I'm going to skip again. I'm going to jump through again because I did
If you
something.
If you have database
recently.
issue, right? If somehow
Yep.
your database query is not running, you can give me access. I'll try to help you debug it.
Burp Suite, they have something for Burp Suite.
And Metasploit was I remember Metasploit was back then when we still have hackerspace, and everyone was playing around with Metasploit.
Correct. I tried to find one for OWASP. The OWASP one is very good actually, but I lost it.
Zap. Or what's Zap?
No. They
No.
actually had a thing about how to do OWASP. No, it's an actual demo for OWASP. OWASP thing. Top 10 here one. So this one they actually show you a link to test things out. For example. So for example, you can start the machine, then you'll just test your browser, right? This one not very good. Is everything else here that is more useful, for example. Then, I know what I'm supposed to show you guys. I'm going to show you the attack box. Okay, so you know what? Might as well just complete it so that I know the next thing. So support material, can I do demo? No answer needed. I'm going to show you the attack box lah. Start attack box. Starting a machine, It's empty actually. It's empty, but there's the setup, all the setup metasploit and everything for you. It could take a while. Your other alternative is actually accessing it using VPN, which I said. Okay, anything you want to know about this before I go on?
Not really, but it looks good.
Yeah. And also one of the previous course I go through is actually about, they give a demo about Emotet. Yeah. So one of the things is they try to show you that what's your task. So the goal is to show you that this is a hash they're going to use. So from this hash, find out what the file is and why you want to use hash and all that. It's there. As I say, it covers enough actually. So as I say, it still have good things.
Why you should use MD5?
No, they don't say don't use MD5 and all that. I wonder. Okay, you know what? Let's quickly jump through the next one. I wonder if I have that learning part. SOC1. Okay, let's go SOC1. I want to show you some of the thing that I go through already. Pyramid of was it this one? Junior and no, not this one. Not this one. Not this one. There is junior cyber defense framework. Where the hell did they do the secret, do the malware thing? Oh well, I lost it. So either way, this is very good. I recommend you guys to try. The next one is of course Advent of Code.
Yay.
Nothing here. First day.
It's an annual tradition of Engineers Mind.
Yes.
Which I don't participate in because I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has a lot of time.
I always no, it's that I always skip when I starting to be on leave.
Oh, okay.
But the first 10 days are always the simplest one.
Yep. Actually, apparently people think the 5th day is hard. So so as you can see, standard code.
I would say
it depends on which you use. If you use JavaScript, then 5th day is hard.
Really? Why is that?
No, I'm just kidding. It's because it's JavaScript.
So no, it's the dependency grows exponentially.
So okay, so Advent of Code, and then I have nothing now to be honest. Oh yeah, final thing before I really forget. This one, GPT chat.
And people use it to solve Advent of Code, from what I say.
Yeah. They use this, but this is different. This is new. In a way that it's new in a way that they optimize GPT-3 and make it usable for chat. And the reason for that is because in chat you need memory. Previously, we tried to use GPT-3 for chat system. One of the biggest problem is they don't have memory. Meaning, you don't need memory for previous conversation. You even within the session, they just don't have the memory for that. is actually a problem. So as a result, people just lose it. This is the reason, one reason why people actually don't use GPT-3 directly as a chatbot system. They try to use something else. So this one is so OpenAI now they update GPT-3 for that lah. So for example, they need other context without information. So this is actually an example. But where is it? Okay, this is very technical. Okay, so first one, it's not, even though they have memory, this thing does not fix the fact that GPT sometimes give you plausible sounding, nonsensical answers.
Gibberish.
Meaning they can give you it's readable gibberish. Okay, it's readable gibberish.
Grammatically correct gibberish.
Correct. And they're also sensitive to tweak, to improve phrasing, meaning you can somewhat problem with for things like so even though in English multiple thing just change the same word can have people will still get the same meaning, but for GPT-3 they will not get it. They will totally confuse us by changing it a bit, right? So for us, you need should I talk about dirty joke? I have this dirty joke that's relevant. Yeah. No, it's okay, like it's clean word but dirty joke, but let's not go there. So there's this connotation. It's like Oxford comma, right? Human will not get confused by Oxford comma, for example, because we know context. But chatbot always have this problem. It's not Oxford comma, it can be just a change of word, synonyms and all that. You just replace the synonyms with just different. So for example, you change a mountain lion with a puma. So they may get a very different context, even though mountain lion puma is the same thing. A jaguar and a leopard can be the same thing because just a different color, right? So they still can have this problem, and they can extremely verbose, and instead they will. So this one is the model usually guess for what user want. So there is some inappropriate lah. There's still limitation lah, but they do try to make it work in a way that they have memories. So that in between conversation they still remember what you're talking about. So it's in progress. And not there yet. You can use this to make a friend, but it'll be a crazy sounding friend. So yeah. So you will not get help.
You mean like what do you call this? Like, was it Alice? No, I forgot.
Yeah, it's called Eliza.
Eliza, yeah.
Yep. So it's better than Eliza in a lot of way, but you're still not clear. You still won't replace it. You will not try to replace your support system with this yet. In the future, yes, not yet, because of the limitation. Because especially if the support system they give something, when those technical support, they have something that people sound gibberish. If a person is a layperson and the system just mix up the thing together and they will not know what is real and what is not, and that's very dangerous. Not yet. They're still working on it. They actually encourage people to give feedback to improve the model further. So this is actually one of the things they try to do, so that you can, have a support system in the future. There is very strong business case to want to reduce the user human involvement in support. So because currently to support Viet time, they have to set up something overseas which have another sort of problem altogether. Then locally, this is low skill job. Okay, it's more like, let's not call it low skill, it's more like it's a skill that business not willing to pay a lot for. Okay, not willing to pay a lot for.
You mean customer support?
Yeah, correct. It's not as high and all that lot. So the skill level is not really that high.
Well,
because
the
it's
at
kind-
least the initial ones, that which is why you have your escalations, right? You
correct,
escalate
correct,
into well, you escalate to a
correct,
human and you escalate to a T2 or a higher
correct, correct,
level because
correct,
it depends on the like a lot of the usual problems are solvable with a lower skill level, and then the
correct,
more complicated ones are the ones that you want to pay for more because you have
correct.
problem solving involved.
So one business case of using this kind of system for support is so that you can do the easy thing easily, a lot, and in theory cheaply, at least cheap enough. But
it's not
so
it's not a mutual exclusive system because you
no, no,
still
no, no,
need
no, no,
a
no, no.
support, or else we end up like certain things like with like Facebook or even big tech like Facebook, Google, where you
Correct,
when you
correct.
try to contact support, you have to wait for the bot or wait for the
Yes,
automated system to assign
correct.
you,
Yeah,
which takes
in
days to
you know
resolve.
I think it was Air Asia, was it, or I forgot, or was it
Yeah,
this other
AirAsia
one?
tried that. AirAsia
Yeah,
tried that. It's horrible. That
like
as I said, a lot of this is says they put there that we use AI for this. It does not work. Bank tried that. It does not work. People just ends up just calling the guy over and call it done.
or yeah, just like doing multiple times, agent please. No,
Yeah,
I don't want to talk
correct.
to the bot. The bot does not
Yeah,
understand my query. Give me an agent,
yeah,
please. And then the bot just, oh no, please
yeah,
try me. I'll do
yeah.
something. No,
Correct, correct.
obviously you can't.
Yeah, it's just not there. It just we hope it to be there, but it's just not there. It's just not
Mm.
there. Yeah lah. So that is the last thing actually for real. We just have nothing else. All
Oh,
these links here
you have
are
more tabs, you know. No, okay.
this is links that I'm keeping
Ah,
to read
mm,
later.
okay.
I'm done actually. Then this is
Mm.
CPM source code. It is the compiled. No, it's cross compiled reformatted. Okay. Anything else from your side? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I already said. I already shared. The only news that I shared is the revocation of the
Card,
streets.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Then I discovered this book. I forget that I have this book.
Mm,
Can you solve my problem?
mm.
It's a
Can you
maths
solve my
book.
problem?
Uh, so then
Zero
yeah,
cost? Are you solving my pro? Are you gonna solve my problem for zero cost?
no, square of two square. This is actually good math. Alex
You
Bellos
make
is a
ignoring me.
mathematician. Is a mathematician. So all these are mathematical job problem. But that being said, it's logical. It's primarily logical. I was supposed to get this book to actually try to solve some of this problem, but I
I'm
forgot.
gonna ask
I
you a
keep
question.
forgetting
What's
this.
no, really. I'm not gonna ask.
Why?
It's not. No, it's not. Not really.
Does it involve a
No, it's gonna
girl
piss off a lot
confessor?
of people. Yeah, not really. I'm
Okay,
not gonna
what
ask.
was could happen? And also, last thing, if you guys had a Christmas suit rental shop that is cheap, tell me.
Seal rentals? What?
Chris Santa suit. Oh yeah, I should
Oh,
have
okay.
tell this as well. Okay, I need it for reason. I need it for reasons.
The
I need it for reasons really. So
it's
yeah
very
lah.
obvious. Now that you mention it, it's gonna be really obvious.
Yeah. People will figure out like, yeah, Santa. Too bad. Good thing that not a lot of people listen to
Are they
DevKami
gonna
from my
sit on your
office.
lap?
That would be a HR violation. And now there's no surprise anymore.
Are you are you supposed to pat their back like? It's gonna be really creepy.
Is
It's gonna be,
that would be another big violation. I would get fired. I probably get fired.
no,
They're
it's
going to
that
make things hard.
there's a lot of what we call things that we used to do casually that
Yes.
they become really weird these days.
The other thing about modern day people is we don't talk to human as much anymore. And part of the reason is because we've spent so
Uh,
much time with the screen.
I also I also admit that there's like there are really a lot more creeps. I mean, creeps are more obvious
Yeah.
these days.
Yes, correct. Oh, I'm trying to find out what is wrong with my thermometer. Oh
What
well.
you're having?
No, I
What is
just
your reading right now?
it's called FOR
For
forehead. Oh, 36.2. It's fine.
oh, you're fine. Everything is gonna be fine.
No, because I did not charge this battery for a while. I did not check. I can't leave this on for a while. Okay, lah. I think that's about it, lah. Next week, Tristan will be doing his Christmas concert.
Mhm.
So
Somewhere
we're
get
gonna just
ticket and all that.
chase us off screen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I
Then
really have nothing else to talk about.
yeah, we
Yeah,
really have
same
nothing
here.
else. We probably going to talk more about Advent of Code in the future. Probably it's just me. Chances is
Just
it's
you.
just
I'm
me.
gonna skip it this year. My intern's gonna
Yeah.
do it.
One of my junior dev did it. So one of my dev actually doing it. Then this one. Then of course another thing I'll be doing soon is, oh yeah, I just speed up my code from 1 hour to 8 seconds. And the reason is I make it so that we don't have to do I/O. If you don't have to do I/O, everything is fast. Okay. If you don't
Yeah.
have to do I/O of any kind, everything is fast. All right.
Also,
So
Evanco often has this tricky question where when, of course, they're gonna lower you for the first few
yeah,
questions, that they're gonna
yeah,
give you something that easily brute force.
yeah.
Then they're gonna have one tricky, just a little slight tweak. They're gonna make it hard for you to brute force without changing
Okay.
code.
So Advent of Code. Oh yeah. So Advent of Code is very interesting in this way. So this is not my Datomaro code anymore. Advent of Code is weird because the I/O is cheap because the file is small. The file input is very small. Okay, but the algorithm, the growth, the process, the big O grow very fast if you
Yep.
use the naive way. So this is actually I do not know how they design it, because in real world application the reason why things are slow are I/O, almost always I/O database, or you badly
Often
do
very
the database
straightforward.
query.
Often very
Yeah,
straightforward. Not really in the domain of Evanco code.
correct. So it's you can so when things are growing big, data sets grow big, process grow big is almost always database issues. If there is some slow thing, it's either networking or you have a bad disk or something. It's very simple. Advent of code is the way that they can grow the output exponentially very quickly. So and n square you can they can take a character of 10 line, run 10 times to some function they decide, and it goes to like 100,000 time or something. Okay, 1,000 time probably. So yeah, I do not know. They are damn good at this. I know this happens in my computer science class, and that's about it. Uh, Graph algorithm is one of those things. Pathfinding is one of those things. Pathfinding, what they do is you only sound straightforward when you have 5 lines, except once you go through 5 different lines and crisscross each other, it grows very fast, right?
Mm.
The bridge of Königsberg, it only have 5 parts, but to go around it, you probably get like 20, 30 parts as a result. If you use brute force to find it, actually. So graph algorithm is one of those. Real world is very different, but it's still good to know because uh, usually when you do have it, you just glad you have it.
The thing about Evanco code is that it's not really trying to be a lead code.
Yeah, correct. It's not
It encourages hacky solution as long as you get the answer.
correct. They don't really care about your
And
code
the
complexity and all
tricky
that.
part is actually on comprehending the questions. So
Correct.
often it is us that misunderstood or overthink. So it's really bad
Yes.
for people that overthink a lot.
So one or a few years back, what I do is I literally just take the Python set function, overlay 2 things, and do a count. Is it hacky? Yes. Does it work? Also yes. So I don't care. Okay.
Well,
So
as long
yeah,
as
do
it
that
works,
about
usually
As long
that's
as you get the
the
answer.
well,
yeah,
at least in the beginning, right? Because usually
yeah,
the second part is where you actually have to modify your solution so that it goes
correct, correct,
better.
correct. So yeah lah. So if you don't ever code, join us. Last screenshot, last screen share, before we leave, because we really have nothing to say already. There is actually a leaderboard which is private, which I need to log in. God damn it!
Also, but you can join the team.
Yeah.
And
Security key.
you
cannot
can,
have my security key.
I can safeguard it for you.
I would.
Or Tristan, you can just give it to me or Tristan next time.
Yeah.
You can
USB
keep it
security
safe.
key. Yeah. Touch it. Okay. Works. I want to show you the leaderboard. We do have a leaderboard. Have fun along the way.
This one.
Don't do this. These
one.
guys are crazy. These guys are crazy. And they probably have AI anyway. This one.
Oh, cool
So,
is doing it.
Joining. Yeah, interesting.
Oh,
Then
Michael
this
is doing that as well.
Yes. Then we have some new person here. So
Roy is an old face.
Yes. I might not able to do tomorrow early because I have a meeting at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., which sucks. Which really sucks. Okay, lah. With that said, thanks for listening to us. Goodbye. Next week, only two of us.
Stay
probably.
safe.
See you next week. Well, see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, don't drown. It's cold day. It's flooding and all that. Lah. Bye.
Bye.
And.